Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Wednesday, March the 13th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions you may have for me, you can use this email address. It's getting close to the end for this link for the Webinato Omnovia Trading Room. I do open it every morning, and I basically just post, say, come on over to the other room. And that's about it. So there's no screen sharing, and I'm not live on the mic there. So please come on over to the other room. The link is in the email you're getting to the other trading room. I open the rooms at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. That's when I start to share my screen and get live on the mic at 9:05. And I go up to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and up to 3 o'clock on Fridays. So for me, I had a bunch of little trades at the beginning of the day, which really, honestly, didn't amount to much. I couldn't really get on the right side of anything. And then my friend Real, now we knew about, I saw Roku in the pre-market. And, it already had a bad day yesterday because, they're announcing a financing. I think it's $100 million financing. So after the huge run that it had, this is just a huge run from, early this year it was at $30 and it ran all the way up to $74. That's just a great run. But then yesterday, I say, they announced this financing, and then look what's happening today. So while I was on my break, let's get back to the 15-minute time frame. See, this is right at 12 o'clock, and this is when I take my break, usually about 10 to 12 to 4:30 to 12:30. Anyway, as I was watching this, and I thought, man, it's too bad I missed this, especially this move here. But this is what caught my eye, this green bar right there, and if you know what we're talking about a green bar ignored. Now, technically, this is not a green bar ignored. To be like a 100% green bar ignored, that bottoming tail right there should be totally engulfed by that previous green candle. So it isn't. But there are a lot of times when I look at this, if the body, I'm sorry about that. If the body is engulfed by the previous candle, and depending on what I'm, kind of feeling about what's happening with the stock, I may discount the fact that, okay, the tail is not totally engulfed. And I decided that, this is just so darn weak. This is the momentary pause, the green bar ignored. In other words, what we're saying is you have a downward trend, you have a pause in the trend, and then it resumes. That's basically what the green bar ignored is all about. So I did end up taking this right here, at 64.28, and I have sold a little bit in here, covered a little bit here, but I'm still hanging on. If you take a look at the daily chart on it, you're going to see, look what could happen. There is the next low looking left, and that's down at around $54. So anyway, Real, he was talking about it, of course. I was watching it. I'd seen it in the pre-market, but, I think he probably mentioned it right here again. And so that's when I got very interested when I saw that green bar. So anyway, all the other trades were just minor little, let's see, what was the one that kind of, TM was the one that kind of, not upset me, but I thought was going to have a good run. This is an earnings play, and you can see it on the daily chart. There's really, if I look left here, let's go to a monthly chart. I know you guys are wondering, well, why can't I have a monthly chart soon? So you look at a monthly chart, and you can see that you have to go all the way back here to this month in about 3 years ago. So I didn't think that was very much resistance, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. Anyway. This was an earnings play, though. So I thought, okay, once it took out 5, let's get back to the 15-minute chart. So once it took out, there's the reaction to earnings after hours. Pre-market is right here. It popped up, and it was a pullback, and I thought, okay, once it got over 5. Bottom line is, I ended up taking this. I ended up taking this trade twice. Once at 508, I got out at 499. It went back down, and then it moved back up again. I thought, okay, maybe now is the time it's going to leave 5 behind. Got in at 513 and got out at 502. So I took two losses on it, but again, very manageable. Not letting a very manageable loss turn into something like this, and even maybe worse. Okay, that's just the way I trade. And if I could ever pass on any wisdom to anybody, have a loss or have a stop loss and obey it. Do not let a manageable loss turn into something that's a lot larger just because your ego won't let you. Just because you're thinking, it's got to come back. I can't be wrong. Look at this. It's got earnings. Everything is so positive. It's just impossible to know what the market's going to do. So, and again, I could always get back in if this if this took this out again. I'm not saying I will, but if it did pop back over 5, held a little bit, and then moved, it's a possibility I will get back in. Anyway, Roku, though, of course, that has sort of made my day, and big kudos to Real. Shout out to Real in the room. And we're getting very close, as I say, to moving over. Well, we're already moved over to the new room as far as I'm concerned. We're still just waiting for the final touches in terms of a proper login procedure. That's all we're really waiting for. The developer is still working on the detached chat. You can do it, but there are some things that he wants to add that it'll make it a lot better user experience. And so he's just been wonderful to deal with. He listens to all sorts of suggestions, and he'll tell us flat out, no, I can't do that, or yes, I can. Doesn't mean it's going to be done in the next day, but he's definitely receptive to a lot of the ideas that the room and myself have passed on to him. We had an interesting thing happen today. We had over 500 people in the room, and the room crashed. And because he had put us, he's been nice enough to just put us on a demo. So we can demo the platform before we made the decision. And I guess the server he had us on was a demo server that couldn't handle 500 people. So it kept the audio kept kicking out, the video kept kicking out. But he came into the room, and now we're on a proper server. So all's good. Anyway, just a little aside there. So I want to bring back the capture program right here. So I will open the room tomorrow, and please come into the new room. Do not, I probably should replace that link, but do not go into the other room, the Omnovia room, because I'm only monitoring to see if there are any posts. I'm looking right now. There hasn't been a post in hours, so there are some people there, but my guess is that they're logged in there, and they're also in the new room. So anyway, hope everybody has a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Bye-bye.